He's the great commander and leader. We just must applaud every single thing this man has done. He's just the greatest leader we've ever had. Listening to folks on the right, the fawning is just disgusting to me, which is something that I've lamented for over the last year. It's just disgusting to watch, as opposed to, really being in a position to challenge him, hold him accountable, or to support him when necessary.
So Stephen A. Smith just went scorched earth on congressional Republicans for their unwavering loyalty to Trump during the Iran crisis. And honestly, he's spot on. This interview with Leon Panetta from early 2020 shows Smith at his sharpest, asking the tough questions Democrats were afraid to ask. Let's break this down.
First things first, as we sit here today, and the United States obviously is engaged in warfare with Iran, what is going through your mind at this moment in time on this particular day, especially compared to weeks ago?
This interview happened in January 2020, right after the Soleimani strike escalated tensions with Iran to their highest point in decades. Panetta isn't just any talking head. He ran the CIA and Pentagon under Obama, giving him unique insight into both intelligence operations and military strategy in the Middle East.
When you look at it right now and the fact that we're there, is that about Donald Trump? Is that about Bibi Netanyahu and the relationship that he's had with Donald Trump and that influencing America's position in all of this, led by Donald Trump? When you think about our presence in Iran, near Iran, who do you point the finger at when it comes to that, sir?
Smart framing here. The Trump-Netanyahu relationship was absolutely crucial to understanding U.S. policy in the region. Netanyahu had been pushing for aggressive action against Iran for years, and Trump's personal loyalty to allies often trumped traditional diplomatic calculations. That dynamic shaped everything that followed.
What do you say to cynics and critics out there who say, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, for decades, we've been talking about going after Iran, doing whatever we could to ensure that they don't have a nuclear weapon, they don't have nuclear capability, and that we neutralize them at every turn. Whether it's Clinton, whether it's Obama, or anybody else in between, those subjects have been broached as it pertains to Iran. But President Trump is the one that stepped up and actually finally did something about it.
This is masterful interviewing technique. Presenting the strongest possible version of your opponent's argument forces the guest to address it head on, rather than straw man versions. It's exactly what journalists should do, but rarely have the skill to pull off effectively.
Because the Trump administration says the Iran war is under control. Those are their words. But the Strait of Hormuz threat suggests otherwise, of course. To ask you this question, I think is necessary. What does an honest end game look like in your estimation? And what isn't the public being told, in your opinion?
The Strait of Hormuz reference is crucial. It's the choke point for about 20% of global oil traffic. Any disruption there sends energy prices skyrocketing worldwide. The question about endgame versus public messaging cuts right to the heart of foreign policy credibility gaps.
What's one decision Trump has made in this Iran conflict that you think was actually the right call, if anything at all, and one that you think history would, I can imagine what you think history would judge harshly, but is there anything you think he's done right here? Anything?
This shows real journalistic integrity. Asking even critics to find something positive prevents the interview from becoming pure partisan theater. It forces more nuanced analysis and gives viewers a fuller picture rather than just confirmation bias.
You actually said that they were a few weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon, which is something the Trump administration was saying, and there were an abundance of Democrats who were refuting that. You're saying they were that close to developing a nuclear weapon.
This was huge at the time. Panetta essentially validated Trump's intelligence assessment about Iran's nuclear timeline, even though he disagreed with the response. It undercut Democratic talking points that claimed the threat was overblown, adding serious credibility to the administration's case.
What's the single scenario in this Iran conflict that keeps you up at night? The one that could spiral faster than Washington is prepared for?
When someone who's run both the CIA and Pentagon talks about nightmare scenarios, you listen. Panetta had access to classified threat assessments that the public never sees, making his worst case analysis incredibly valuable for understanding what was really at stake.
I think it's utterly disgraceful that the president acts the way that he acts on too many occasions. But I think it's equally, if not more damning, and disgraceful that we have 435 representatives in the House, 100 representatives in the Senate. That's 535 elected officials, and the half that's on the side of the incumbent, the right. Most of them don't seem like they have a spine to even stand up to the things that he wants to do and to stop him.
He's absolutely right about the constitutional breakdown here. The founders designed Congress as a co-equal branch specifically to check executive power during crises like this. When that fails, you get unconstrained decision-making in the most dangerous situations possible.
I think that I don't give a damn what he wants to do. If they're standing together and they're putting the American people first, then there's little that he can do to offset that kind of momentum. But they don't seem to recognize it because I believe they're too damn interested in keeping their jobs and not nearly enough interested in doing their job.
This connects to the broader collapse of institutional checks and balances we've seen accelerate over the past decade. When legislators prioritize party loyalty over constitutional duty, the entire system of separated powers breaks down, regardless of which party holds the White House.
Going after Iran was justified. Democrats said it wasn't. He's saying Trump was right. It's just the follow-through has been awful.
That's the key insight. You can simultaneously believe the threat assessment was correct while criticizing the policy execution. It's the kind of nuanced analysis that gets lost in partisan talking points, but is essential for understanding complex foreign policy decisions.